Fallacy of repetition. Applying the concept in counseling. 1. Understanding the fallacy of repetition. The fallacy of repetition refers to the cognitive bias where repeated information, even if false or exaggerated, is perceived as more credible or truthful over time. This phenomenon leverages the brain's tendency to equate familiarity with validity, leading people to believe grand or complex lies over simple truths. For example, a person repeatedly told that they are not good enough may internalize this belief, even when objective evidence contradicts it. In counseling, this fallacy can perpetuate self-doubt, reinforce negative thought patterns, and create resistance to accepting straightforward truths that challenge deeply ingrained beliefs. 2. How the fallacy of repetition is useful in counseling. Promotes critical thinking. Helps clients recognize how repeated messages influence their self-perception, beliefs, and decision-making. Encourages reframing of narratives. Guides clients to challenge false or limiting beliefs by questioning the validity of repeated but unsubstantiated claims. Supports cognitive resilience. Assists clients in developing the mental tools to resist manipulation, whether from internalized thoughts or external influences. Practical application in counseling. A. Identifying repeated narratives. Activity. Whose voice are you hearing? Ask clients to reflect on recurring messages they've internalized. What beliefs or thoughts do you find yourself repeating? Where did these messages originate? Example: a client struggling with low self-esteem might identify repeated criticisms from a parent or authority figure that shaped their self-image. Counselor's role: help clients uncover the origin and validity of repeated messages, fostering awareness of their impact. B. Challenging repetition-based beliefs. Exercise. What's the evidence? Encourage clients to evaluate the truth of repeated claims by seeking evidence. What facts support or contradict this belief? If this belief were untrue, how would your life look different? Example: a client who believes they are always failing might explore specific instances of success and resilience that disprove the narrative. Teaching affirmative repetition. Guide clients to counter negative or false narratives by consciously repeating empowering truths. What positive, evidence-based messages can you replace these with? How can you reinforce these truths daily? Example: a client working on confidence might repeat affirmations like, "I am capable and growing," to counteract negative internal dialogue. 4. Detailed tips for application. Normalize the impact of repetition. Explain that repeated messages naturally feel true over time, but critical evaluation can break the cycle of false beliefs. Encourage evidence-based reflection. Teach clients to ground their beliefs in objective evidence rather than familiarity or repetition. Focus on constructive repetition. Help clients create routines that reinforce positive, truthful, and growth-oriented messages. 5. Examples. Career counseling. A client believing they're not leadership material might identify this as a repeated narrative from past feedback, exploring how their recent accomplishments contradict this belief. Relationship counseling. A client who feels unworthy of love might reflect on how past relationships or media messages have reinforced this belief and work on replacing it with affirmations of self-worth. Anxiety counseling. A client fearing failure due to repeated negative self-talk might practice mindfulness and affirmations to challenge and replace these thoughts. 6. Integrating fallacy of repetition techniques into a course of treatment. Initial sessions explore how repeated messages influence clients' self-perception and decision-making, identifying specific narratives that need to be addressed. Midway through counseling, use cognitive restructuring, reflective journaling, or visualization exercises to challenge and replace false beliefs reinforced by repetition. Ongoing work. Reinforce strategies for cultivating positive, evidence-based beliefs through repetition and mindfulness. Outcome measurement. Assess whether clients demonstrate reduced internalization of negative messages, improved self-esteem, and greater resilience against external influences. 7. Conclusion. The fallacy of repetition traps clients into believing false or limiting narratives by leveraging the power of repeated exposure. In counseling, addressing this bias helps clients recognize the influence of repeated messages, critically evaluate their validity, and replace them with empowering truths. By fostering critical thinking, resilience, and affirmative repetition, counselors empower clients to break free from unhelpful patterns and embrace narratives that support their growth, confidence, and well-being.